In recent times, the balance of power in the Middle East has shifted in ways that most analysts predicted, but very few imagined would actually unfold so dramatically on the ground. One of the most striking examples of this escalation was the reported missile strike that directly targeted the official residence of the Israeli Prime Minister, a location that symbolizes not just political leadership, but also the very core of Israel's governance. The strike allegedly came from Iranian precision-guided systems, a development that raises questions about the capabilities, intent, and confidence of Iran's missile program, as well as the vulnerabilities in Israel's defense architecture. To begin understanding the gravity of the situation, it is important to note that the Prime Minister's residence is one of the most heavily guarded and reinforced sites in Israel. Layers of security include underground bunkers, reinforced concrete capable of withstanding conventional blasts, and an integrated protection system tied into the country's Iron Dome and Arrow missile defenses. For a missile to reach that site, penetrate those defenses, and inflict measurable damage suggests not only technical superiority in terms of the weapon, but also a significant intelligence advantage on Iran's part. Iran's missile arsenal is diverse, ranging from short-range tactical rockets to medium ballistic systems capable of carrying large warheads over hundreds of kilometers. In this particular strike, analysts believe Iran deployed one of its newer variants equipped with precision guidance systems. These missiles differ drastically from the older generation that relied heavily on brute force and saturation fire. Instead, they use GPS, terrain mapping, and advanced seeker heads to lock onto high-value targets with a margin of error as small as a few meters. That kind of accuracy transforms missiles from air-raid-anile tools into surgical strike weapons, capable of directly threatening leadership, compounds, command centers, and critical infrastructure. The reported damage, calculated in the range of 200 trillion rupiah, or roughly tens of billions of dollars in U.S. currency, reflects not only the physical destruction of property, but also the symbolic loss and the strategic cost of such an attack. It is one thing to damage military installations or energy facilities, but when the residence of the Prime Minister is struck, the psychological impact on the population is far greater. It communicates vulnerability, raises questions about deterrence, and sends a message to allies and adversaries alike that no one is beyond reach. Looking closer at how such a missile may have bypassed Israeli defenses, one possible explanation lies in the concept of missile saturation. Even highly advanced defense systems like Iron Dome or Arrow face challenges, when overwhelmed by simultaneous salvos, Iran could have used a combination of decoys, electronic warfare, interference, and multiple launches to create gaps in the Israeli shield. Modern missile technology also incorporates countermeasure systems, such as chaff release, evasive maneuvers, and radar-absorbing coatings, all of which make interception harder. In essence, the missile that struck the residence may not have been the most powerful one, but rather the one that managed to slip through amidst a broader barrage. For Iran, showcasing such capability provides a unique selling point in terms of regional deterrence. It signals to adversaries that Iranian missile forces can execute precision strikes on leadership targets with relative confidence. This not only strengthens Iran's position in its ongoing shadow war with Israel, but also boosts its prestige among its allies and proxy groups across the region. Hezbollah, the Houthis, and various militias observing this strike would interpret it as validation that Iranian technology is battle-proven and effective against even the most sophisticated Western-backed defense system. From a performance perspective, the missile's impact radius, warhead size, and accuracy are all critical factors. Reports suggest the warhead carried enough conventional explosives to cause structural compromise in multiple sections of the compound. The blast wave would have affected not just the immediate walls, but also underground reinforcement layers, disrupting communications, power systems, and command centers housed below. In terms of design, Iranian engineers appear to have focused on optimizing guidance technology over sheer destructive payload, a trend consistent with global missile development strategies where precision is prioritized over volume. The unique aspect of this strike lies in its symbolic dimension. Military experts often say that wars are fought not just with weapons, but with messages. By choosing the Prime Minister's official residence rather than a remote base or less symbolic target, Iran demonstrated its willingness to escalate confrontation into the political heart of Israel. The targeting carries both technical confidence and strategic messaging, a combination that makes it particularly noteworthy. On the Israeli side, the incident reveals vulnerabilities in what was once considered an impenetrable shield. It calls into question the allocation of resources toward defensive systems that may not be able to guarantee absolute protection against advanced missile threats. For decades, Israel has relied on a layered missile defense concept, with Iron Dome handling short-range rockets, David's Sling intercepting mid-range threats, and Arrow systems countering ballistic missiles. However, a single successful strike on the Prime Minister's residence suggests that this architecture, while effective in many scenarios, is not foolproof. The broader implications ripple out into global geopolitics. The United States, a key ally of Israel, will view this strike as a challenge not only to Israeli sovereignty, but also to the credibility of U.S. defense technology, much of which underpins Israel's missile shield. At the same time, Iran will present the event domestically as a victory, using it to rally public support and emphasize its growing technological self-reliance in the face of sanctions and international isolation. Design elements of the missile itself reflect Iran's strategy of asymmetric warfare. Instead of matching Israel plane for plane or ship for ship, Iran invests in long, precision-guided munitions that can bypass conventional deterrence. Their missiles are often roadmobile, making them hard to locate and destroy preemptively. They are relatively inexpensive to produce compared to the cost of intercepting them, creating an economic imbalance that favors Iran in prolonged exchanges. For example, the cost of launching a missile may be a fraction of the cost required to intercept it using systems like Iron Dome, meaning Iran can sustain its offensive posture at a lower financial burden. Another key factor is the psychological warfare component. The very idea that Iran can strike the Prime Minister as home shifts the perception of safety and power. It places pressure on Israeli leadership to reconsider its approach to both offense and defense, while also amplifying domestic debates about government security, military readiness, and the sustainability of prolonged conflict. Observers note that the aftermath of the strike will likely lead to upgrades in Israeli defensive measures, perhaps incorporating new layers of laser-based interceptors or more advanced radar systems to reduce the chances of future penetrations. Yet, each technological countermeasure requires time, funding, and international support, whereas Iran has already demonstrated operational capability in the present. On a technical level, the missile strike also highlights advancements in warhead fusing mechanisms. Precision-timed detonation allows for maximum structural damage against reinforced targets. Instead of simply exploding on impact, modern warheads can penetrate structures before detonation, or alternatively explode just above ground level to maximize blast radius. This adaptability makes them versatile against a wide range of targets, from bunkers to open-air facilities. The incident also underscores the role of intelligence and surveillance. For Iran to hit such a target, it likely relied on real-time reconnaissance, possibly through satellite imagery, drones, or signals intelligence. Coordinating the launch with precise timing requires significant command and control infrastructure, suggesting that Iran's operational capabilities extend beyond just building the missiles they also involve integrating them into a network system capable of guiding them to their targets with remarkable accuracy. Ultimately, the strike on the Prime Minister's residence marks a new chapter in Middle Eastern conflict dynamics. It is not just an isolated act of aggression, but a demonstration of how modern warfare increasingly revolves around precision, symbolism, and asymmetric capabilities. Iran has positioned itself as a power that can reach into the heart of its adversary's leadership, while Israel faces the pressing challenge of reinforcing its defenses in an environment where no system can claim to be invulnerable. This event, when broken down into its key features, performance characteristics, design innovations, and symbolic elements, reveals a complex picture of modern warfare. The missile's unique selling point is not only its physical destructive power, but its ability to send a clear message of deterrence, defiance, and capability in an era where perception and psychology are as important as firepower and